Why, hello there YouTube and welcome to a Revolting review. I'm Random Ross and today I review Scream. Ah! Yeah, that was my terrible Scream attempt. So yes, Scream 1996, where it all began. So, with Scream 6 coming out, I thought, last year when I did Scream, the fifth film, I didn't do like a build-up or revisits because I was, I was having health problems and recovering from a battle and what have you. I'm not getting into details there. But I thought now it's time for me to revisit the franchise, and I thought I would review, obviously, the first movie, so Scream. Written by Kevin Williamson and directed by the legendary Wes Craven, starring Neve Campbell, David Arquette, Courtney Cox, Matthew Lillard, Rose McGowan, Skeet Ulrich, Kennedy and Drew Barrymore. So, the story to this is, it's set in the small fictional town of Woodsboro. There's a mass killer on the loose called Ghostface who's killing teenagers. And, of course, we know the opening, we're led to believe that, Drew Barrymore, who was big at the time and was a big part of the film's marketing, we thought she'd be the final girl, she'd be safe, she'd make it, but then they Hitchcock us and kill her within the opening minutes of this movie. And then we're following Sidney Prescott and her friends, and we then come to the discovery that it's playing around the anniversary of her mother's passing, and also we get it revealed that there's not one but two killers, which is Sidney's boyfriend Billy and his best friend Stu, and they are the killers. And then in a big brawl down, we get we get four survivors: Sidney, Gail, Dewey, and Randy. Jamie Kennedy, and he never thought, he'd be happy to still be a virgin. So, what did I like about this one? Well, if you know me, and a lot of my friends in the horror community will know what I'm about to say here. Yes, I lost my virginity to this movie. I did. It was the first real taste of horror I experienced. Before that it was all like Scooby-Doo, Goosebumps, Are You Afraid? Child-friendly stuff, but this was my first dive into R-rated territory. I shouldn't have been watching it at the time, I was only 11, but it was on the telly and I watched it, and people warned me to never watch this film, it's scary, and it wasn't. For my sister, she said she weren't scared, but later that night when we watched it, she didn't sleep at all. She was keeping everyone up awake because she was terrified. Me, I was never scared of it. I found this film funny. I found it funny, and I found it silly, and I thought, is this what slashers are like? Is this what horror movies are? They're not that bad. And that's when I started to really go into the horror genre. I mean, I was still scared by monsters and stuff and what have you, but this being like an early, my sort of first step into hardcore horror stuff. So, I will always have them fond memories of that. So, first of all, I love Wes Craven's direction in this. He just did a great job. Him and Kevin Williamson, put this movie together with with Kevin Williamson's writing talents and Wes Craven's, directing, because we all know that Wes Craven is a legend in horror directing, and he did this one so good. And at the time, we had the 80s, the golden age of the slasher genre, and it was dying down, it was getting stale, till they came back with this one, and they revitalized it. And it poked fun at horrors, it poked fun at the slasher genre, it referenced so much slasher genres. Even Wes Craven cameoed as a janitor wearing a striped sweater, the same as Freddy Krueger, as a reference to his other films, which was A Nightmare on Elm Street. We even have the Fonz in this as the principal, and he's not like funny in this, like he's going, hey! He's like the principal. I also thought Skeet Ulrich and Matthew Lillard were great in this as the killers, also providing a little bit of comic relief. along with Jamie Kennedy as Randy, also providing the comic relief. See, I don't look at this as a full-on horror slasher. I look at this as a comedy as well, because there are comedic moments in there. There's even the whole bit where, you know, Randy sits everyone down and tells them the rules to survive a horror movie, and I pretty much abided by those rules. I mean, I didn't lose my virginity till I was like, I'm not going to get into that, but look, the fact is, slashers make good contraceptive for teens, like, wait till you're in your 20s at least, yeah, I've rewatched this, I've revisited it, I've never grown tired of watching it. I've always enjoyed it, even though now I'm a grown man, I can see the things coming from a mile off. It's just, I still get a delight out of it. I still enjoy watching it. It's a 90s classic, my favourite of the 90s really, definitely in there with them. And yeah, Scream, the best. And I thought, it's time to revisit the franchise in the build up to Scream 6. So yeah, is there anything I didn't like about this film? I can't really think of anything. And also there's that iconic voice of Ghostface going, "What's your favourite scary movie?" But that guy's actually Mojo Jojo from the Powerpuff Girls, and he's gone on to reprise that role of the voice of Ghostface throughout the films. Also, I believe it, because of this film, it was, it increased sales of answering machines and security systems, I believe. Yeah, just a little fact I'm throwing in there. And originally the title for this one was going to be called Scary Movie, but 4 years later we got Scary Movie as a parody horror franchise, and it did parody a chunk of it, parodied Scream. So anyway, the first Scream movie, Scream 1996. What am I going to rate this one? You know what, the hell with it. It's an all-time favourite of mine. I'm giving it 5 stabs out of 5. 5 stabs out of 5 for Scream. So there you go. There has been my review on the first Scream movie. So let me know what you think to this movie down below in the comments. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and to share with your friends. And feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and to hit that notification bell. All my social media links are linked down below in the description, so feel free to check all that out. I've been Random Ross. This has been a Revolting review, and until next time, don't have nightmares.